Hi guys, thank you very much for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the D trick, and this isn't the same D trick that you might have seen me talk about in my last video with the electric guitar and we were doing a bunch of lead stuff. This is a more acoustic approach, and this is used by bands I love like the Allman Brothers, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, so I'll be pointing that out to you as we go along. And what you're going to get is a really lovely progression today and a very powerful visualization tool, because if you take this in, you'll understand how you can take a couple of simple chords and play them all over the fretboard and pull out really nice melodic lines. And yeah, once you get this stuff, you can't unsee it. So I hope you enjoy this one. Now, I will be playing through a little progression that implements all the techniques that we're talking about, and you'll have that to play at the end. Now, I got a lot of requests for tabs for these things. I've had them since I started, and to be honest with you, I'm useless with tab software. So I have a transcriber on board. I'm getting all my videos backdated with tab. They're all getting tabbed up as we speak. And this video is tabbed up and will be on my site already. So you can access that below. It is a small membership fee, $3 per month. You can get all my videos with tab now. And you'll also get a bunch of other stuff, free courses and community access and a forum to talk and upload and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff for your $3, and it's a great way of supporting the channel. So if you want to do that, you can get the link in the description. Otherwise, let's crack on with the lesson. So the first thing we need to do is play the D chord, okay? And we're going to do a little visualization process and then a little practice. And then we're going to get into the progression. So we've got the D chord. Now the important thing to note with this is the D turns into the C. Now what we mean by that is when we make chords, right? A chord is just made up of 3 notes. So a D, or a basic chord. A D, we have a D. We have an A, D, and an F sharp. Okay, so basically a D, an A, and an F sharp make up a D. And I can find those notes all over the fretboard. And that's how shapes come into the practice. So by turning this into the C shape here, I've got a D, F sharp, A, D, F sharp. Alright, and that means if I play all these notes together in this shape, I have a D. Okay? Now I don't need you to play that shape, I just need you to be able to visualize it, right? Just for this lesson. Now, the cool thing about this is, right, this is the D note. If I take the B string and I find the G note here, and I make the D shape, I've got a G. And then I can get into the C shape and make a bigger G. I can do that anywhere. I could find an A here on the 10th fret, play the C shape, and I've got a bigger A. Another way of me doing that would be finding the A on the A string. I'm saying A for apple, by the way, in case you don't know. And then I can make the C shape from there. So I can either find the note on the B string or the note on the A string. If I found this would be an E, and then I get into the C shape, and I have an E chord. Okay, so the first, and this is all going to make sense, right? But the first exercise I want us to do is to arpeggiate that one note at a time, like this. Alright, so you can do it. I'd rather you start with your pinky, third finger, index finger, middle, and index. If you can, alright? It's not totally necessary, but it'll help you if you can start with your pinky. And there we have an arpeggio, right? So we can identify that arpeggio by finding the note on the A string or the B string and fire right into it. So we practice that, and then we say, well, hey, I want to find a G. G. I can play all those notes in G. E. And so on. So take a little bit of time with that and make sure you can build in that muscle memory. That's going to be important going forward. Now, what happens when you want to play a minor chord, I hear you ask? I'm glad you asked that important question. It's going to be important for our chord progression. But we do the same thing. We find the note. Let's say we want to play an E minor. Alright, we find the E on the B string. And instead of playing the D major shape, we play the D minor shape. Okay, and we can arpeggiate that from the A string again by finding the E note. And instead of playing the C shape arpeggio, on the D string, we flatten the third. So that goes from a major to a minor. So instead of going 7, 6, 4, we go 7, 5, 4. So, major, minor. And that kind of stuff is what have you heard Snow by the Red Hot Chili Peppers? The kind of shapes that he's using, minor and major triads, breaking down these big shapes. So yeah, these things are very useful once you can visualize them. So again, E minor. And again, these shapes are so powerful. It means you can arpeggiate any chord and find some cool little licks. If you want to play an E minor, alright, so any minor or major chord, as long as you can visualize that shape, find the root note on the B or the A, you can find them. So let's go over the chord progression now. So we're going to have a bar in D, F sharp minor, G, 4, and A, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so we're going to play a part over each chord. Let's start with the D and the F sharp minor. Okay, so just a few little leads there, nothing too crazy. But all we're doing here for the D, I'm starting to arpeggiate that C shape, right? 5, 4, 2, land my index finger, and then I put my middle finger on the next note down, which is the 3 and the B. Then I'm doing this little double stop, and I'm getting those two notes, and I'm hammering on from 2 to 4 on the G, then off again. Then 4 on the D. And then I'm sliding into the D minor shape for the F sharp minor chord. Alright, so I'm visualizing that shape there in the 5th and 7th, and again, this is why this is so powerful. I can see that shape there, so I can see the notes that I can use if I want to target them. Alright, so then my middle finger, I'm just going to slide that into 6, 7, and then I could go 5 or I could strum. Both work fine well. And then I see the notes that I've got next. Is this here, this 7 on the D, and I could use this note here as well and do this cool thing. So slide again, I'm going to slide back, come back my finger and slide up to 7, 7, 6, 7. So let's put those two bits together. Alright, so for the final bit, right, we're going to have the G going into the A. And I'm going to use the C shape to arpeggiate that and do something a little bit different. So we've got to do this. Okay, so for the G, I slide into that 10, 9, 7, and then just down the arpeggio, 8, slide up, to 10, 8, 7. And that's a little note to the Allman Brothers, you know. How'd that go? Sounds familiar, right? So again, using these triad shapes to create some little melodies. Alright, so again. So again. And then into the A. And when I get here again, I'm going to make that little double stop, as it did with the D. So we're going to play through it all now, guys. And again, if you want to have this all tabbed out, you can get it on my site. I'll leave a little link here, $3. And yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Otherwise, take it easy, enjoy the playthrough, and we'll see you soon.